I would now like to invite our final inductee, Andrea Reynolds Pizzuti, and her presenter, Jackie Confort, to the stage. Our final inductee today is Andrea Reynolds Pizzuti from the class of 1996. A four-year member of the Beaver College softball program, Pizzuti was a three-year first-team All-Pac Conference selection in 1993, 1994, and 1995, and was named Academic All-Pac in 1996. For her career, Pizzuti batted .430 with 117 hits and 272 at-bats across 84 games, with 98 runs scored, 60 RBIs, 39 walks, 34 stolen bases, 14 doubles, and 8 triples. Pizzuti's .532 batting average in 1995 remains the highest in program history, while she ranks in the top 10 in batting average, triples, and stolen bases for her career. Pizzuti graduated with her bachelor's in psychology in 1996 and earned her master's in social work from the University of South Florida. I put 1996, but I'm guessing that wasn't the right year. Pizzuti is currently the vice president of home dialysis at DaVita. Pizzuti and her husband Kevin have 2 children, Jackson, age 19, and Ava, age 17. Andrea is being presented today by her best friend and college roommate, Jackie Confort, who I would now like to invite to the podium.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to all the 2022 Hall of Fame inductees. I can't say Arcadia, I'm Beaver College forever, so I just can't. My name is Jacqueline Confort Sullivan, and it's my genuine delight to tell you all about my lifelong best friend and teammate, Mrs. Andrea Reynolds Pizzuti. I was told that I'd have 3-4 minutes to tell you about Andrea, and I thought, it's going to be difficult. But then I thought, how appropriate, because I remember how fast Andrea truly is. All those stolen bases and hits that would have been, or should have been outs, had it been someone else doing the running. Seriously, her batting average record is the stuff of legends. So I'm going to talk with Andrea like speed, try to keep up. Those are some pretty spectacular softball stats, right? However, as impressive as they are, knowing Andrea, they aren't surprising in the least. In fact, if there was a Hall of Fame for amazing human beings, she'd be in it. Mom Hall of Fame, Jackson and Ava, are proof she'd be in it. There's nothing she won't do for her children. And geez, do they have a booked calendar. The activities, I can't imagine. She supports Jackson and Ava from the lacrosse sidelines, football stands, weightlifting competitions, cheer competitions, national beauty pageants, the Ocala Young Lady Red Hats Club, or something like that. I don't know, that sounds weird. But the point is, if her kids are involved, you know Andrea will be there, supporting them the entire time. She shows up. Wife Hall of Fame? Kevin, you're a lucky guy. Though she definitely is equally lucky to have you. And I only have 3 minutes, so everyone will have to take my word on that one. Best friend Hall of Fame? 100%. We first met in the 6th grade when Andrea moved to her dad's house in Voorhees, New Jersey. Everyone was talking about the new girl. She was beautiful, intelligent, stylish, and played sports. Naturally, the arrival of a smart, athletic, and pretty girl ruffled a few feathers of those peckish hens of the in crowd. Which, quite fortunately for me, a social yet lone wolf type of kid, their adolescent insecurities and cliquey exclusionary behavior brought Andrea and I together. Over the past 37 years, Andrea has been a Hall of Fame best friend. She has been my trusted confidant, coworker, teammate, my co-pilot, my navigator, my therapist, personal stylist. I'm not allowed to wear blue eyeliner, ever. That was actually, I think, the first day we met.
Back in style now.
Like, not allowed. Sage advisor, secret keeper, shoulder to lean and cry on, surrogate parent at times, staunch advocate, fairy godmother to my children, my fiercest protector, the yin to my yang, the Thelma to my Louise, the beef fry to my end charm necklace. At my wedding, she stood by me as my maid of honor, despite knowing the marriage would fail. She did try to warn me beforehand. I should have listened. I didn't, but she still showed up. During my marriage, when I would call her in tears, she would answer the call and listen. My pain was her pain. She would listen and advise, knowing full well that I'd be calling again in the same situation. Even so, she still showed up and always answered my call. When I became a newly single mom, she flew up from Florida to help me move and start to rebuild a home for myself and my sons. She had young kids of her own. It was truly amazing. I didn't have to ask her to come. She simply showed up. Godmother Hall of Fame? That one too, no doubt. This past spring, she sent an amazing dress to my son's girlfriend for prom. My son's girlfriend comes from quite limited means, and her mother died a few years back, so she had no one to take her prom shopping. I'm not a girl mom. I have 2 boys for a reason. But of course, Andrea saved the day, or prom, and the next thing I knew, in our mailbox, a dress showed up. A few months ago, when Andrea asked me to be her presenter today, I was like, oh, I totally got this one, and thought I would regale you all with amazing firsthand tales of Andrea's incredible achievements on the collegiate field. Unfortunately, though, and much to my chagrin and my parents, turns out the vast majority of my college memories were stolen by Boone's Farm peach wine. I remember borrowing trays from the calf to go sledding and practicing for Mr. Beaver contest, but no actual college ball playing memories. I still play, by the way. I do remember last season. So in an attempt to not completely fail my best friend, who deserves so much for her selflessness and amazingness, and I reached out to a few of our former college teammates for help. Kim Kelly says, great parties at her apartment. Oh, team leader that would also have something positive to say. Jen Hillman. I remember her smiling a lot, like a lot. And oh my God, yes, the parties. How could I forget? Joel Nipsey said, always a smile on her face. Always looked model ready. She really did. It didn't matter the weather. Andrea was like a Sports Illustrated model. Could always count on her to make the play or for a clutch hit or to get on base. And she threw great parties. Rachel Gellner. Andrea, queen of consistency at bat and at center field. She was an amazing teammate, led by example. Our freshman outfield, all 3 of us were freshmen, Julie Meehan left, Andrea center, me right. I'll always remember she helped bring our team to be conference champions. You never worried when anything was hit to center field. Did she not get invited to parties? Because she didn't. She was invited. Christine Chaubert, also known as Bear. Andrea was a great friend and a wonderful player. What I always appreciated about her was how she brought us all together, never excluded anyone, and was always there to pick you up. What a wonderful honor for an amazing teammate. She didn't get invited to parties either. Coach Linda Detra, who's not quite verbose, said, ditto, Bear. And Coach Wayne Mara, Andrea's freshman coach, who brought her to the team, who is overseas right now for the birth of his granddaughter, or his grandson, but he had these words to say about Andrea. Andrea came to our team and provided just the spark we needed to propel us to greater success than we had ever previously achieved. Positive attitude and a love of the game were her trademarks, not to mention the obvious, which is that Andrea was a fantastic player. I'm not surprised that she has undertaken the enormous task of caring for her father in the time of his greatest need. It's character as well as talent that makes someone great. Having both is why Andrea inducting into the Hall of Fame is so deserved. Andrea, I wish you and your family peace and strength. That's from Coach Wayne. Bear with me. Coach Mara wrote those thoughtful sentiments because just as Andrea can be counted on the playing field, she is counted on by her family. Hall of Fame daughter, possibly the most accurate description of Andrea I can imagine. In the past few years, Andrea's mother, father, and sister have each been diagnosed with cancer. Her mom, Fran, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer that amazingly is now in remission. And I can't imagine how Andrea scheduled everything and made everything look so easy while she was there for her mom, for her treatments and everything she did. Her sister, Dana, had breast cancer, but fortunately was caught in the early stages and is also doing very well. Andrea's father, Jim, has stage 2 lung cancer that has metastasized, and he is now in hospice care. Andrea is the ultimate pillar of strength and support. Her involvement in her family's treatment plans and dedication to their care are unparalleled. In true Andrea fashion, just a few weeks ago, she again showed up by making her father's hospice care paramount and moved her father in with her family. I know Jim's heart is bursting with pride for her today, as he is surely her #1 fan. Tied with me, I think, though. Jim could always be found on the sidelines at our games, cheering Andrea on, sending much love to them all. I am beyond proud that Andrea is my best friend and that she asked me to present her here today. There's no greater honor. She deserves so much. So everyone, with great affection and with a special sense of pride, I am honored to present to you on this day of her induction into the Beaver 2022 Athletic Hall of Fame, Mrs. Andrea Reynolds Pizzuti.
Wow, Jackie. Well, see, that's why I picked you to present me. I didn't know we were going to go all the way there, but we did. So thank you. Well, I'll just start because I'll probably mess up. So I'm just going to stick to the script here. So thank you, Jackie, for the walk down memory lane, and for always being by my side. I am blessed and lucky to have the same best friend for, well, I guess it's almost 40 years now. I put 37, but we're old. And to have you here means the world to me. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I wanted to first thank Brian, Mike, Adam, and Scott for this amazing honor. I think when you get a random email from your alma mater, people automatically think it's for a donation or for money. And honestly, the furthest thing from my mind was anything like this. So I'm humbled and extremely honored to be here today among these other 5 amazing inductees. I also want to thank my amazing family, Kevin, Ava, and Jackson, for being here. It's not easy to wrangle 2 teenagers to step away from all of their stuff, and so I'm really lucky that they were both able to be here with me. And I always say this, I think I told Brian this, I know sometimes you don't actually think I played softball in college, but here is actual proof that I did. My name is on that thing right there. And thank you to the rest of my family that I hope we're able to use the technology to stream. So thank you for having it, for Arcadia, for having the ability to stream it. I think there's probably a lot of people watching, so love you guys. I can't remember a time that I didn't love playing softball. The first time I picked up a bat, I think I was around 5 in my grandfather's backyard. My grandfather didn't have any grandsons, sadly, and he loved baseball. So he was determined to teach both of his granddaughters how to hit and catch a ball. We started out with wiffle ball bats and gradually made our way to tennis balls. Once we started hitting them over the fence, though, and my grandfather got tired of hoisting us over the fence to go get them, he thought it was time to graduate to real organized sports, and so my softball career began. I played for my local town travel teams for years, and it is there that I met some of the absolute best softball players I've ever played with. One of my most memorable times was our infamous trip to Texas in 1990. Jackie was there for the 16 and under girls fast pitch ASA National Championships. There were some pictures in my slideshow from that. I can honestly say that we played against some of the most talented softball players in the United States at that time. And that experience really solidified my desire to continue playing the game that I loved after high school. And it's funny when I look back, and I think it was Amy who said it, I had the most fun. I played softball for a really long time. But when I look back and I was thinking about this speech, the most fun I had was when I was here, was when I was playing at Beaver. High school softball was fun, but in all honesty, my coach at the time did not think I had what it took to play at the college level. I did, though, have an awesome JV coach who wanted to try something new and innovative with me because of my speed, and that is slat bunting. So for those familiar with the sport, this hitting technique is widely used now, but back then it was new, progressive, and super weird looking. I would get up to the bat. People didn't know what I was doing on the left-hand side of the batter's box. It was kind of cool to watch everybody's reaction. So he and I worked together for hours to finally get it figured out. And once I did, my game and playing was truly completely different. I took that new skill, and I think that is how, I know that is how I was able to really play competitively at the college level. The summer before my senior year in high school is when I seriously started considering my college options. There was a lot that went through my mind. Did I 100% want to play in college? If that answer was yes, then realistically, what was a good fit for me? I toured a ton of schools, and this is near and dear to my heart. My daughter is a senior, and so we are on the college tour of touring schools, mostly in the South. Clemson, UNC, Duke, Furman, lots of other local options here. But I knew D1 and D2 really were not in the cards for me. I was realistic. And while those schools were amazing, if I chose them, softball would be out. So I turned my sights on schools that I actually thought I could get some playing time, and so began my 4 years at Beaver College. One of the best things about playing college sports at Beaver was that I was able to get the best of both worlds as far as being an athlete and being a college student. I was listening to you, Amy, and your speech was, ours are so similar, just our experiences here are so similar. I was an athlete, which alone is pretty awesome. But in those D1 and even D2 schools, being a student athlete usually means that sport becomes your life for the next 4 years. You really don't have any social life. You don't really get to enjoy it. But that was not the case here at Beaver. I'm not saying it wasn't super competitive, because it 100% was very competitive. But I also got to be a traditional college student. And I thoroughly enjoyed and took advantage of all the things that went along with that, too. Jackie mentioned some of the things. Everyone in this room thinks we just had parties every weekend, and maybe we did. I don't, It's a long time ago. Having that balance was crucial to my success both on and off the field. I have so many incredible memories of my time here. It's funny, my son is a sophomore at Florida State, and I've spent a good deal of time up there. And I will definitely say that a 40,000 student campus is very different from a 1,500 student campus on a lot of levels. Everyone knows everyone, And that could be good, and that could be not so good. You can't hide here, that's for sure. But when I look back on my 4 years, there are a few things that definitely stand out. Here's just a couple. Meeting all of my people, all of my friends. I'm just so lucky. I have Dolan here, I have Jen here. I met them my sophomore year, but just so blessed to have friends that I would say are probably my friends for life. Our 1993 softball team, that was really some of the best playing that I probably have ever done. Our inaugural Myrtle Beach trip, there were some pictures of that in the slideshow too. My amazing coaches, Jackie mentioned Way Mora. He was the one who actually recruited me, Linda Detra and Leslie Hayes. And then the last one, I mean, my best friend, my best friend since 6th grade, coming up here my sophomore year after I was begging her to come, and being able to play together with her for 3 more amazing years. Being a softball player has taught me so many things that I believe have shaped the person I am today. I bring the competitiveness I learned on the field to my work life and maybe my home life sometimes, almost every single day. I may think of this place as Beaver College, but whether you call it that or Arcadia University, it is a very special place. It is a small, tight-knit community that has an outsized impact on the lives of those students who go here. Those of us fortunate enough to also represent the Scarlet Knights on the playing field have a special bond with this institution, and I am incredibly honored to be standing here. Thank you very much for a humbling recognition for doing something that I loved. Thank you.